The Federal Reserve has left U.S. interest rates unchanged for a third consecutive time. At its meeting today, the Fed kept rates at a range of 3.5 and 3.75%, falling in line with economists' expectations. Speaking after today's decision was announced, Fed Chair Jerome Powell noted the full impact of the Iran war on our economy is not yet known.
This normalization of our policy stance should continue to help stabilize the labor market while allowing inflation to resume its downward trend toward 2%. But the implications of events in the Middle East for the U.S. economy are uncertain. In the near term, higher energy prices will push up overall inflation, but it is too soon to know the scope and duration of the potential effects on the economy.
This is Powell's second to last meeting as the Federal Reserve Chair. The next is scheduled for April 28th and 29th. Following the Fed's announcement and Chair Powell's press conference, the Dow Jones fell more than 750 points, closing at a new low for the year. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ also fell, closing down 91 points and 327 points, respectively. CBS News coordinating producer Richard Escobedo joins us now. Richard, thank you for being here. How big of a role did the war factor into this decision, and how could it impact future rate decisions?
Lindsay, it played a huge role in this rate decision, specifically the uncertainty that it's created. It's something that you heard Chair Powell talk about quite a bit there. By my count, he mentioned uncertainty or said uncertain 7 times over the course of his nearly hour-long press conference. He did, of course, say there, as you said, that this really is uncharted territory, and the Fed, which has the best economists in the world, is just going to have to wait and see how this plays out. One place where we're seeing it play out right now immediately is at the pump. It's both gasoline prices and with diesel prices. Diesel is outpacing the price of gasoline, and that affects everything from the cost of food to the T-shirt you buy at Walmart, because that's what those large 18-wheelers you see on highways, that's the fuel they use to transport goods across America. So that's one thing they're watching at. And of course, fuel is one of the most volatile things in the world in terms of how it spills over to inflation and could complicate the Fed's job. Powell said they're watching it, and one of his concerns is that it becomes something more of a shock and something a little bit more pervasive.
Okay, so we know that there's going to be some tumult also within the Fed Reserve. Chairman's going to be out. Powell's going to be out. Kevin Warsh, if he's confirmed, is going to be in. Will it be possible for him to cut rates immediately like the president wants? Did Powell give any indication if he's going to stay on the board?
We heard something interesting from Chair Powell today, which was the most explicit he's been about some of this political drama. Of course, there is that Republican Senator Tom Tillis of North Carolina who has said that until these investigations into Chair Powell and the Fed over the remodel of the Fed's headquarters here in Washington are done, he's not stepping, or rather, he's going to put a hold on Kevin Warsh's nomination. Chair Powell addressed that today, and here's what he said pretty explicitly.
If my successor is not confirmed by the end of my term as chair, I would serve as chair pro tem until he is confirmed. That is what the law calls for. And while I'm at it, on the question whether I will leave while the investigation is ongoing, I have no intention of leaving the board until the investigation is well and truly over.
One thing that is not in that sound that you heard there is Chair Powell saying that he also has another card to play, which is he can stay on the Federal Reserve Board beyond that time as chair if he would have to stay in a temporary capacity. And he's not made a decision on whether or not he's going to do that just yet.
Richard Escobedo in his first day on CBS News 24/7 on the Takeout and the Daily Report. Same time tomorrow. What do you think?
I'll be right here.
Okay, we'll have you on any night you'll come. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lindsay.